What is going on, beautiful people? It is Micah J with Porsche 4K, and today we're going to go over the GTS 4.0 versus the standard Cayman. We want to know, is the $25,000 for the 4.0 worth it? We're going to go over the driving experience, the interior and exterior, and see which one is right for you. Let's go. To start it off here, let's talk performance. So with the standard Cayman, you're looking at 300 horsepower, 280 foot-pound of torque with a turbocharged flat 4. You got 2-liter turbo that's in this engine here, so you're able to get good power, 0 to 60 in about 4.9 seconds with PDK included. I believe that is a good bang for your buck for this vehicle. Now, if we shift over to the 4.0, we have the flat 6, 394 horsepower, 317 foot-pound of torque, and a 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds with PDK. Now, you have to justify, do you really want the difference in sound? Because honestly, that's the biggest perspective here. You go with the flat 6 versus the flat 4. Most purists would probably say they would go with the flat 6 just so you can get that true Porsche sound and be able to have a great sound from stock. However, if you do go with the standard model here, I've seen a lot of people do some really crazy builds with these, getting them over 420 horsepower and making that flat 4 sing. So it honestly just depends on what your appetite is for budget, what you want to start off with, but you can't go wrong with the standard model versus the 4.0. It really just comes down to which engine do you want. All right, so let's talk driving dynamics. With the standard Cayman here, you get a well-balanced suspension off the rip. It's very good for everyday driving, very smooth, plush, not as aggressive. If you go here to the 4.0, you do get to have standard with the Porsche active suspension management, also lowering the ride height here to about negative 20 millimeters. You can also option it for negative 10 millimeters as well, whichever you decide. But you do get that option in the 4.0 as opposed to the standard Cayman here. With the 4.0, you also do get Porsche carbon ceramic brakes as an option. You do not get that here on the standard model. However, if you are looking to track this vehicle, you probably can put your own extra set of brakes on it, however you wish. Everyday driving, you don't necessarily need to have it. But at the end of the day, both are mid-engine vehicles, so you are going to have a great balanced feel. The driving feel in both is amazing. The gearing is a little different in regards to if you go the 4.0 route, having that 6-speed or that 7-speed PDK versus the gearing that would be here. So you really just have to play with both. The main engine comes into play whether you want flat 6 or flat 4. All right, so let's talk interior quality. On the standard Cayman, it is a little minimalist inside to start. For Sport Chrono, you do have to option that so you don't get that standard. For the seats, you do have to tick that as well. But the interior quality itself is pretty much the same between the GTS as well as the standard Cayman. It's only dependent on which options you check that don't come out standard. To me, if you are able to option the standard Cayman very, very well, you can get your bang for your buck to similarly get the same as you would in a GTS 4.0. For me, the biggest factor would probably be just option the Sport Chrono package, and then you're good to go. All right, so in the GTS 4.0, the interior quality as well as the infotainment is almost identical stock for stock with the standard Cayman. Only difference is you do get some standard options inside. You have Sport Chrono packages, which is definitely a big ticket item for you to have the option on to the Cayman. You have the option to get the Sport Plus seats with the Alcantara inserts as well. And you also have different trim available to you that you can choose outside of the standard version. Honestly though, with the driver focused vehicle that the 718 is, the interior, it's not that big a deal for me to be able to have to overly option from the standard to the GTS just to get that same quality. I think if you're able to get the leather package, get the 2-way or 14-way seating, and you have Apple CarPlay, it's a win-win in both models. All right, so let's talk value and cost of ownership. Obviously, with the GTS model, you're going to be a lot higher, especially with tires and brakes. If you're somebody who tracks your vehicle, get ready to spin a grip in regards to those two maintenance items. However, from MSRP to MSRP, you're looking at starting around $99,000 on the GTS 4.0 versus $72,000 on a brand new Cayman. You have to really justify which part of these vehicles is that important to you. If miles per mile is something that you want, something that you're very eager to get, the GTS is the way to go. However, it will cost you. You are able to get a very, very similar experience through the standard model here as well. You just have to spec it properly, do a little bit of aftermarket maintenance, performance upgrades, and then you have a perfect vehicle for a track or a daily driver. Fuel economy, you're gonna get a little bit more fuel in the standard model, not too much compared to the 4.0. Both take premium quality unleaded for that. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention to your mileage, what you're doing with the vehicle. Are you daily in it? Are you using it on the weekend? And that'll really go and factor into the cost. The insurance on both probably are very similar as well. Same platform, same model. Both considered sports cars. So you really just have to see what is important to you and how you'll be using the vehicle. All right, so which car should you buy? Let's go with the base Cayman here. This vehicle is for the driver who wants a Porsche performance, precision, and looks without blowing six figures. To me, it's a little bit more livable, more efficient, and you still get to have an absolute amazing time with this vehicle, especially if you set it up right, doing it whether it's daily driving or tracking. For the GTS 4.0, now for this one, I would recommend this for pure enthusiasts. If you are somebody who cannot negotiate with having a flat 6 versus a flat 4, the 4.0 is definitely the way to go. You want the true Porsche experience. It's emotional, and it's a car that you can hear the engine and really feel the chassis with it. You just have to be able to accept the more premium offerings on this vehicle from a day-to-day if this is going to be your choice. So to conclude, which vehicle are you going to choose? You're going to go with the standard Cayman, you're going to go with the 4.0. Honestly, it all depends on what you want to spend. Do you want to be a pure enthusiast? Are you going to use it for daily driving? Or do you even care about flat 6 versus flat 4? If that conversation is null and point, go with the standard model, more bang for your buck, able to spec out to your liking to get some of the GTS qualities without fully going into the six-figure range. If you don't want to have to worry about optioning just to get to a little bit more premium standard, go with the 4.0 here. You're able to get a lot of things at standard. You just have to make sure that you're going to go ahead and enjoy it for what it is, and you can do some upgrades down the line as well. Let me know in the comments down below, would you go with the standard 718 or the 4.0? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. It is Micah J signing out. Have a good one. Now I'm here with Jade, who has owned this Porsche Cayman here for a few months. Jade, I want to know your experience with the vehicle. How have you liked it so far?
I love the car. The car's absolutely perfect. The mid-engine setup is truly the best form of car you can get for this buck out of any of the sports cars in this category of Porsche Cayman base.
Okay. And what drew you to Porsche in particular over other sports cars?
The history of Porsche, I love it. Their cars are just unmatched to any track standard, daily, even just looking at them, they're beautiful, stand out.
And speaking of track, do you use it for daily driving, track? How do you use your vehicle on a day-to-day?
Daily driving, working back. I want to track it, but not just yet.
Got you. Got to work your way up to it. No, the great thing about this platform is you're able to do a lot of customization to it. You can set it up to your liking for track or daily use with the aftermarket space. So it's very good to hear that you're enjoying it so far. And if you had to do it again, same car, would you go up and down in the 718 lineup?
I would go up and down. Next car is GT4.
GT4, okay. And why would you go with the GT4?
I love the Cayman setup. Even though it has the 2 seats, I think it's just perfect. You hear that raw engine power right behind your ear. The setup, mid-engine, can't beat it. Weight distribution, unmatched.
Unmatched. Well, no, Jade, I definitely appreciate you sticking with me to shoot this video here. Beautiful Porsche here in that lava orange. Keep the 718 alive.
You know it.
Keep riding.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.